Camden Falls Gallery, Camden, Maine. We're on the harbor with Roberta Goschke and Olena Babak. They'll be featured in our show June 18th. It'll be virtual, but the ladies have come down to the harbor to paint today. The show will be entitled One Friendship, Two Friendships, One Love. The show will be entitled Two Friendships, One Love. No, they're looking at me. Speak up then. The show will be entitled
One Friendship, Two Stories.
Oh, okay. The show will be entitled One Friendship, Two Stories. And you can see the friendship is obviously between these two ladies. It's the guy behind the camera who doesn't know what he's doing. Life of the Plein Air Painter. Camden Harbor, Olena Babak and Roberta Goschke are coming over today to do some plein air painting in Camden, really one of the most beautiful harbors in the state of Maine. And basically closed up due to COVID-19. Those boats would be, some of them would already be out sailing at this point. Olena's trying to find a spot to paint before the sun really gets bright. So she likes this overcast feel, but she's searching for that really spot of interest that really sparks her to go. So we'll see what happens. But here we are in Camden, visiting the life of a plein air painter, or painters, with Roberta Goschke and Olena Babak. Well, Olena and Roberta have arrived on the public landing here. We're trying to figure out where we're going to paint. We want to make it about positivity and beauty and everything. Olena's picked out two boats. Roberta doesn't know if she'll paint with her or not. Again, it's something that's got to move you. The owl right here, there we go, is definitely a beauty. And next to the surprise. So Olena said she wants to come down to the dock and paint two boats. They're not going out for day sales now. More often than not, the case is somebody will come here to paint a boat and they're halfway through the painting and the boat leaves with a charter with the people on it. But I think this is probably what has caught Olena's eye right here. Again, that's the schooner Surprise that sails out of the harbor. And then the cutter Owl, okay? And we have, again, the overcast in the harbor here, a lower platform that Olena's looking at. Roberta there. Go right ahead, ladies. Just go right ahead, and we'll see what happens. Good morning.
Good morning.
Olena, good morning, Roberta.
It's always beautiful in Camden, so
good.
here
Well,
we are.
I'm glad you're here, and I hope your sun hats come in handy today. Roberta's decided to stay in the same area and paint with Olena. Unfortunately, right now, subject matter is limited, although we are in one of the most beautiful spots on the coast of Maine. Now, Roberta, on your palette, you have put the oils and set up your paints and everything last night before coming down, or this morning?
I did it last night.
Yeah, all right. Okay, then clear it all as you go. Olena has hers down and in. And Olena, how long have you been painting?
Always been painting, but full time about 7 years.
So you're working in the background there? Or are you just sitting in the composition?
Pretty much. Very beginning, I'm just trying to work out the compositions, the big, dark, light shapes. I'm not even drawing anything that much. Proportions is important to me, and how visually pleasing the shapes are. And that's the only thing that I'm concentrating in the very beginning. I definitely love the small details. It's not as important. I am paying attention to the masts because they divide the space in a certain way, and that becomes a very strong part of the composition. Try to see. Sometimes I move them a little bit, sometimes I leave them exactly where it's at. Definitely this mast on the schooner right, the one that I painted, the owl, needs to be exactly where it needs to be. Everything else, perhaps I'm gonna move a little bit.
And will that give you basically a baseline for the composition as much as the hull of the boat will?
Exactly.
Great, that's gonna be interesting to watch it come about. Well, I'm very excited about the show that we're going to have here because it'll encompass your plein air work, studio work, and then figurative work as well as portraiture. In the 3 different groups, if that's not 4, Roberta, do you prefer one over the other? Is it a seasonal thing where in the winter you're in the studio more doing portraiture and figurative or still life?
Probably in the winter, in the cooler seasons, I'm in the studio much more. And I'm used to going to life drawing and life painting groups around the area in the winter and the later fall. And that's pretty much how I started doing art in the first place, was life drawing.
Roberta, how long have you been painting?
Probably more than 20 years. The challenge for me is usually trying to keep it abstract and not about the objects themselves, the fact that they're boats and the rigging and the masts go a certain way. It's more of so the color, the shape, the values, and have them all come together and become and look like boats.
And now, we've been talking about the sun coming in and out and changing what they see in the composition of the painting. So perhaps more and more of the fog goes and more blue sky comes in. But now here's another, what do you say, an obstacle in plein air painting? The wind is just starting to pick up and it's a little stronger out of the east right now. You can see the bags starting to blow. And it's like when the poor artists and craftspeople go to the craft shows on the weekend and they get you're put out in the elements. So these ladies are tough. They're surviving the elements and working the coast of Maine as plein air painters. all the loose paint, then towel it down and paint thinner, and then you start all over again?
Well,
I sort of like the effect of it now as you're rubbing it off. It's like the fog came back in.
well, that's the thing. Sometimes you just kind of, because things was changing so much. I didn't like how it was going, and it changed the light too much. So, and at this point, I could try paint on something kind of like on a ghost that happened there, or maybe not. Maybe paint something completely different. I don't know.
Where it's closer to noon right now, you know, we've had that sun come in and out about 4 or 5 times. Perhaps a more constant spot would be good.
Who knows? You know, just the way it goes. You just never know.
Oh, you don't. And it's very much like it's life as it is. I mean, if this was regularly, you know, late May, early June on the waterfront in Camden, you'd never have a spot like this with no activity, no people to bother you. The apple door would be here. So, you know, you wouldn't have that view. It's the way the world turns. Presently, it's upside down, and we will move on from here. Thank you very much for coming down, ladies. We have incoming here on Camden Harbor. Mr. and Mrs. Goose and the Goslings. See if we can get everybody in it. Okay, yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some real interest here. Not that Roberta and Olena's paintings aren't that interesting, but I mean, is that just cute as a button right there? Brought back memories. Okay, this is what plein air painters get. This is a part of the plein air painter's life right here. They have usually a lot of people coming up to ask them questions. The geese here will be silent on the most part. They're not going to bother them, I don't think. But they are going to just cruise on by to see what the ladies are doing.
I think for me, when you have, like, when I have a, I guess it's when it looks something that I love to paint, like the gray days. I'm not so big on gray days. Let's just put it this way.
That's fair.
But give me sunset, sunrise. Okay. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Crap.
I've been filming this entire time.
Oh my god!
I love it.